What
Sure.
impact has there been from the closure of the Strait of Hormuz globally, and what are the immediate and future impacts you foresee in Bangladesh?
About 70% of our imported energy comes from the Middle East. And this is normal because they are closest to us, right? And so that would be our most direct source of importing energy. And when I say energy, I mean all kinds of fuel. So it's not just the oil that you put in your car or the petrol that you put in your car. It's also LNG, which is liquefied natural gas. That's used for our electricity supply. And
Mhm.
of course, we have, other fuel that goes into industrials, right? To run the industries. So that's also another, source. So obviously, with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, with prices going up, the biggest impact is obviously higher prices. However, at the moment, what's a little bit more scary is if nothing is coming out of the Strait of Hormuz, there's a likelihood that we might run out of the energy that we have in the country at the moment.
Right. So can you expand a little more on LNG imports and the industrial power cuts and how that can have effect on day-to-day life for a country like Bangladesh?
Sure. So let's take a step back and see how much energy or LNG comes out of the Middle East. So the biggest LNG producer is obviously Qatar Energy. And Qatar Energy provides about 20% of global energy. Now, for us, we import almost all of the LNG from either Qatar or from Oman. Now, there's some good news here, of course. In the last 1 year, we have sanctioned a higher level of LNG to be imported. So once this LNG starts flowing through, we will have more supply for the future. Unfortunately, right now, the situation is that Qatar is closing down their LNG facility, or actually, they've closed down their LNG facility, which means there's no production. And restarting this production facility will take anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, even if the war stops today.
Oh
Having
gosh.
said that, one good thing is they do have about 76 million barrels in storage. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is they
Mhm.
can ship this. It won't be easy, but they can ship this. And we've already heard about, about six, I want to say six ships coming through and will reach our Chittagong port in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So that should actually give us a really, really good buffer. For
Mhm.
now, we have a buffer of about 30 days. So things are not as dire, but it's time to be cautious and it's time to really understand the risks, right? We may have to ration energy, we may have to ration electricity. What does that mean for people like you and me? It
Yeah.
means we may have to deal with more load shedding, right? So instead of maybe 1 hour going off, it might be two, it might be three, it might be even 4 or 5 in a day. So for people like you and me, we need to remember that we need to charge our phones ahead of time when there is electricity. We need to make sure that we have backups. If anyone's using backup generators, they should stock up on diesel and so on and so forth. So just a few important steps to make our daily lives easier if the government has to do this. And most likely they'll have to do some of it. We're just hoping that it's not a lot.